Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Just Women Talking Shit with your host, Jacqueline Cotton. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Just Women Talking Shit with your host, Jacqueline Cotton.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Just Women Talking Shit, the show where we get real, we get raw, and we unpack the shit people are too scared to say out loud. I'm your host, Jacqueline Cotton, and today we're going there. We are talking about mental health. Why is it so damn hard to talk about it? Why does your voice shake when you say, I'm not okay? Why do you second guess reaching out for help? And why, after all the progress we say we've made, does it still feel taboo to talk about it? Spoiler alert. It's not just in your head. It's generational. It's neurological. And babe, it's systemic. But we're not just keeping it quiet today. We're getting loud. I'm dropping some truth, some stories, and yeah, a few science-backed bombs to help back it all up. Let's go. Why is it so hard to talk about mental health? One, we were literally raised to shut the hell up. Think about that for a second. Look, I love our families, but a lot of us grew up in homes where crying out loud got you punished, not comforted. You heard, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. More than, it's okay to feel what you feel, and that shit right there sticks. It's not just emotional, it's neurological, okay? A 2015 study showed that when you're constantly told to suppress emotions as a kid, your nervous system literally rewires. Your brain learns emotion equals danger. So now, as an adult, your chest gets tight just thinking about opening up. That's not weakness. That's conditioning. Story time. I remember whenever I was younger, I would have panic attacks. Here's the thing. I didn't know they were panic attacks. I was told whenever I went and, asked for help, freaking out, hyperventilating, I was told I was being dramatic, that I needed to get it together, that I was in my head, needed to calm down, stuff like that. And I know now I was having active panic attacks as a kid, but nobody was on board with mental health at that time. I remember it was so taboo to have a therapist or go to a shrink. And I just think it's wild now because I'm like, everybody should go to therapy. I think that it should be like a universal health plan that we all are required to go to therapy. Like, I think the world would be a better place if we could all get in touch with the thoughts in our heads instead of, pushing them down because we feel like we're too much or we're being dramatic or just want attention. Like, that's the last fucking thing I want is attention when I am wigging the fuck out. Am I right? Number 2. We're taught to prioritize other people's comfort over our own truth. Let that one sink in. Ever try to tell someone, hey, I'm struggling, and they hit you with, but you have so much to be grateful for. Well, thanks. That fucking helps. Girl, that's not support. That's toxic positivity. It's not just annoying. It's actually harmful. 2020 study found that avoiding uncomfortable emotions is directly linked to psychological distress. We are literally making ourselves sick trying to be palatable for others. And then number 3, we associate mental health with weakness. Let me be blunt. There's still this quiet, shameful belief that if you go to therapy, you must be broken. That if you need medication, then you've failed. But here's what the data says. Over 50% of us will deal with a mental health condition at some point, and 1/3 of people won't talk about it because they're afraid of being judged. Are you kidding me? Half of us are struggling and 1/3 are suffering in silence? No. We're done with that. We gotta be done with that. Let me tell you something, babe. You asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. Seeing a therapist doesn't mean you're crazy. You needing a moment to just fall apart, it doesn't mean you're a mess. It means you are a fucking human being. Because here's the thing. Humans are messy. We have heartbreak, trauma, hormones, loss. You're not a damn robot, and you're not supposed to function like a perfectly optimized machine, okay? You're not broken. You're becoming. You're learning. You're healing. You're doing a very brave thing by even listening to this episode. And let's take a second just to share this with somebody that you care about, who you want to know their mental health matters. And maybe this is your way of telling them that they can be someone that you can lean on when they are having a rough day. Just by sharing, just by being open-minded, deserves a hell of a lot of respect. And I want you to know that pretending everything is fine is not fine. So let's dive into some actionable steps so that you can walk away with change headed your way. Now, you know I don't just vent. I'm here to help you take your power back. So here are some real, doable, backed by science ways to start owning your own mental health. Number 1, name it out loud. Your brain literally needs language to process emotions. Ever feel like a mess until you finally say it out loud to someone? And suddenly it's like, okay, I can breathe again. That's not an accident. A UCLA study found that when you name your emotions, your fear center in your brain calms down and your logic center lights up. So say it. I feel sad. I feel burnt out. I feel numb. That's not weakness. That's actually power. Number 2, find one safe person. Remember how I said maybe this is your way of letting somebody know you're my safe person, or I can be your safe person. Not your whole Facebook feed, just one human that you trust. Even one good conversation can lower your stress and reduce isolation. The longest study on happiness out of Harvard, by the way, found that stronger relationships are the number 1 predictor of emotional and physical health. Not money, not success, but connection. Find that one person and be that one person. Story time. I literally just experienced this the other day. Last week, whenever I was having some health scares and I was having one of those days where I was in my emotions and I was ready to just burn it all down, I took my feelings to Instagram. And one of my friends who told me she was going to be that person for me called me and we talked about it. And holy crap, did I feel better after the fact. And she told me up front, we said we were going to be this person for each other. What are you doing putting it all over Instagram? And I was like, shit, I kind of forgot. It's hard adjusting to somebody being that person. So Sarah, thank you for being that person. I appreciate you. I may not like when you call me out. I don't like it. But I appreciate you and I love you very much. And I just wanted to thank you publicly for that because you are that person for me. Number 3, build a daily check-in habit. If you can scroll Instagram 47 times a day, you can take 60 seconds to ask, how am I really doing? That's emotional hygiene, babe. You brush your teeth daily. Why wouldn't you want to check your mental health daily too? A 2014 study showed that regular self-reflection actually lowers depression symptoms over time. This isn't just woo, this is wiring. Self-awareness makes you more resilient. Think of a rubber band. Number 4, unlearn silence. Practice brave conversations. Say it awkward. Say it messy. Say it scared. But just say it. That's the important part. Just say it. Your brain is plastic. It changes with repetition. So the more you speak, the safer your brain starts to feel about expression. Even if your voice shakes, speak anyway. That's where the shift happens. So here's the real deal. If it's been hard for you to talk about your mental health, know this, you are not broken. You're not behind. You are human. And now you're aware. You've got the tools and you've got permission to feel what you feel. You don't have to carry it alone. You don't have to be silent to be strong. And you sure as hell don't have to perform your way through the pain. Your story matters. Your struggle is real. And it's safe to talk about it right now because you've got me and a whole army of women doing the work alongside you. I want to take this moment to invite you to my beautiful retreat in Arizona happening this September. If you'd like a spot, I do have some available spots left. You can choose your own room or a shared space where you will get to know your roommates who also chose a shared space. Just DM me, Arizona. Super excited about that retreat, by the way. So here's your permission slip. Tag me at Just Women Talking Shit on Instagram and tell me one thing you're giving yourself permission to feel today. Just one. Pick one and send it my way. Or if you're ready to take a deeper dive and you want some questions answered on one of our next episodes, I would love to hear from you. Email us at jwts@gmail.com with your questions. If you need advice, I will match it with the appropriate guest, an expert, or if it's a question for me, I would love that too. All right, babe, I'll see you next time. And remember, your emotions are valid, your healing is allowed, and your voice deserves to be heard. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Until next time, Jacqueline Cotton out. Thank you for listening to Just Women Talking Shit.